in the outskirts of Paris, there was a peasant girl named Migrisal. Every day, she would wait for Despereaux the prince to pass by her fruit stand. She was in love with him, but afraid to tell him because she was a lowly peasant. Every day, on his way to visit the royal Princess P, Prince Despereaux would stop at Mr. Churrasco's bakery to pick up a world-famous loaf of bread to bring with him to the princess. Princess P was never happy to see Despereaux. She was mean to him and everyone around her. Whenever the joker would come to make her laugh, she would say, "You're not funny, you make me want to cry, not laugh." When Despereaux would bring her a fresh loaf of bread from Mr. Churrasco's bakery, she would yell, "Bread is for peasants! I wanted a croissant!" Migrisal would watch Prince Despereaux walk back home with his head hung low. After being yelled at by the Princess P, she wanted to run and hug him, but she wouldn't dare. One day, when Despereaux stopped at Mr. Churrasco's bakery, he asked Mr. Churrasco, "Every time I visit you, you give me a baguette, but the princess keeps saying she wants a croissant. Will you please give me a couple of croissants?" Mr. Churrasco answered, "I'm famous all over the kingdom for my delicious bread. Take this olive bread. The princess was enjoying it just the other day." Despereaux picked up 2 loaves of olive bread that he was told were the princess's favorite, hoping she would like it. When Despereaux arrived and gave the Princess P the bread, she said, "Why'd you bring me such disgustingness? The only thing I hate more than bread is olive bread." Once again, Despereaux passed by Migrisal's stand, broken-hearted. He looked so sad that it made her cry. She just couldn't understand why he would love that evil princess but never looked her way. She was very beautiful. One night, as Mr. Churrasco was locking up his bakery, Princess P showed up behind him, startling him. "I need you to bake me 2 croissants right now." Mr. Churrasco said, "As you wish, my princess." Even though his children and his wife were waiting for him, he reopened his bakery and got to work. While he was baking the croissants, Princess P pulled out an evil potion and said, "This will turn that annoying Despereaux into a rat, so I'll never have to marry him. Ha ha ha!" Mr. Churrasco looked at her and smiled. "Oh, I'll get it done. You do not have to worry. Just leave it to me." The princess turned around and said, "I'll be back tomorrow at lunch to pick up the croissants," and walked out of the door. The next day, Despereaux stopped at the bakery early in the morning. "I tried the olive bread, but she wants croissants." The baker pointed to the counter and said, "I have just what you need." When Despereaux arrived at the palace, he offered her croissants, and she finally accepted his invitation. They sat down at the table and ate the croissants with tea. Suddenly, they started to choke! Migrisal and Mr. Churrasco rushed in the door and said, "We have the antidote! An herb from Migrisal's garden!" Migrisal then kneeled by Despereaux and said, "Open your mouth, Despereaux." He opened his mouth slowly and drank the antidote, while looking into her eyes for the first time, and instantly fell in love with her. Suddenly, they heard a noise from under the princess's dress. The princess had turned into a rat and scurried out of the room.